Hi, I'm Trevor.
I'm Brent.
And we are...
NeonCheetahs. It's time to go to the distant spring.
Yep.
One last time.
Gotta get some spring water, get hydrated.
Hydration.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have like almost nothing left to do in the game, which is exciting. We're going to finish our first series.
I'm so excited to do nothing. Oh, I mean, yeah.
To do nothing as in move past the series?
Yeah, I mean, we'll be done with the series, and then, I don't know, what are we gonna do? Start Star Trek or something?
Maybe. Maybe Star Trek. Because everybody really likes that game. That one Star Trek game, everyone's just really excited about it. So why not take advantage of that situation?
Star Trek Conquest.
Yeah. It's a really cool game. You get to do all sorts of stuff. It's a strategy game, and you know what? It's really hard to explain. Because it's a strategy game, but then it's like... Sometimes it's like turn-based, and then sometimes it's like an arcade type thing. Yeah. I don't know. You'll find out.
I just like that you can be the Klingons. I know you said like the Federation's better or something.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I want to be the Klingons.
Well, the Federation's mostly better because there's kind of a cheat you can do. It's not cheating.
But
it's more
it's
of
cheap.
Yeah, there's a cheap strategy you can do using the Federation, so...
Oh, look at those guys go up the tree all at once. Dag, yo.
Yeah, they are having a good time. They're just partying.
So what's our goals here right now?
Our goal here is to fight that spider. Actually, but before we fight the spider, we're gonna build a bridge.
I like to build bridges. I don't like to burn bridges. Sometimes you have to in life, but...
The Foo Fighters like burning bridges. They have a whole song about it.
Oh, ouch.
Oh. Olimar got burnt.
Do they have a song about burning Olimar?
You know, it's actually not illegal to have a flamethrower in the United States.
The more you know.
I think I might need one. For research purposes, of course.
My friend Jared gets to use a flamethrower at his job. He gets to melt things with a flamethrower, old computer parts and whatnot.
Oh,
and extract the metals.
I think maybe you mentioned that. Oh, we lost a Pikmin, son of a biscuit.
Yeah, I just think that's cool. I should not be allowed to have a flamethrower. I mean, with supervision, sure, but...
Alright, we fought one of these guys before, so it's not as exciting as, the first time around. Yeah, it's a boss. Oh, no.
Looks more like... I'll say it again. It's an Octorok. This is some crazy Zelda experimentation crossover things going on.
I'm
grilling
hitting
up them
his butt.
Grilling up those Pikmins.
Oh, I hope we got him in one shot.
I discovered the bow spirit. With this, I can summon all sorts of bow archers to my aid.
Oh, you.
He just rolls over when he dies. Literally, he's just rolls over, dead.
And now we're gonna, just consume his corpse.
Yeah. My hand was cramping up like that the other day. My hand turned on me. I was looking at my hand and talking to it because I was you are not behaving. It was my right hand too, and so I was trying to cut an apple, a candied apple that my friend Roger made, and he was just watching me struggle with it, and then I just looked at him. I'm like, "Can you cut the apple for me?" I felt like such an infant, but my hand just kept cramping up.
Aw. You should learn how to be ambidextrous.
Well, I mean, even if I was, I would have had to have one hand hold it and the other hand cut.
Oh, okay.
And the hand, so...
Because you mentioned you were like, oh, it was my right hand, so I'm like, oh.
Well, it was more frustrating because it was my right hand, you know what I mean?
Hey, you guys back off. Get out of here.
But yeah, I was just trying to hold on to, because even if I tried to hold it with my right hand and cut it with my left, it was still not holding it well and getting hurt, and it was difficult. So I just looked at Roger. I'm like, "Can you cut this apple for me?" Until my hand starts behaving again.
It's a weird thing. I don't like to ask for help, but at the same time, I don't want to do anything. It's the strangest thing. It's I want to be independent, but also I don't want to put in the effort. Isn't it funny how that works?
Yeah, that's life. So we got the bow spirit. So
yeah,
what do we do now?
Now we got some stuff in the water to get, so I'm gonna put away the reds because we don't need them.
Now, are they extra susceptible to water, or just like?
No, they'll just drown.
Okay.
Like yellow ones
Okay.
will drown.
Wasn't sure.
Yeah. Blues, I don't know if you've noticed, but like blue Pikmin, they have like mouths, and those are supposed to be like their gills or
I
something.
did not notice that.
Yeah, if you look like really closely, if I can zoom in, yeah, they have like little mouths.
Oh, so
yeah,
cute.
and then the red Pikmin, they have noses, which is why they have higher attack power because they attack with their giant pointy noses.
Is that legit?
Yeah.
So they're like those statues and the big stone statues that nobody knows who made them, kind of thing.
Oh, the Easter Island head statues. Yeah. Yeah, just like that, except those ones aren't pointy, but you know.
Well, but I'm saying like I meant what it looks like on the Pikmin. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta wait for them to
And
go.
what do the yellow ones have ears? Like.
Yeah, the yellow ones have ears, which there's some part where Olimar's like, oh, it makes them more aerodynamic, so you can shoot them like higher, and I'm like, I don't think that's how ears work, but
That's how fins work, maybe.
yeah, but we're not in the water. Although, didn't we talk about this before? How like when you get to a really small scale, like physics start to break down.
Yeah.
We're at a really small scale. I don't know if we're at a small enough scale.
No,
that
it's
would
gonna be
make
like
sense.
it's like subatomic, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although, okay, when you get to a subatomic level,
Yeah.
what is there to do in order to test physics?
You know, I don't know enough about it. I remember I was talking to my friend Roger. He told me about it. I read a bunch of articles on it. Finally, after like 6 hours, I finally understood it. I was like, I got this. And then like 2 days later, I'm like, I remember nothing, but I remember that I accept this. and like I know about quarks and all those kind of things. Like yeah. But like beyond that, like I don't know. I don't remember much of it because it was just I wanted to understand it, and once I understood it, I was just like, oh, okay, this is like I got it. I got enough that I can let this go and not be upset at him telling me that that's the way things work. I was like,
All right,
I should do more research on it. I'll research that over the course of the next year.
No, get over here. This one yellow Pikmin is just like, oh, I need the rock.
But yeah, he had me read like 6 articles and like part of a book and stuff, and I was like, finally it like snapped, and I was like, okay, I get it. And then like 6 days later, I was like, man, that was a lot of stuff that I understood at the time, but now if you ask me to explain it, I'm like, yeah, it's magic.
This is actually faster if you just let them drown and then come over here. You know, they're just drowning a little bit. They're fine.
Yeah. I know more about chemistry, but when it, yeah, some topic, like, I know they kind of got into it in Ant-Man, like, a little bit.
Except they completely failed at how it worked. Because the whole idea of, like, Ant-Man's suit was something, Chronos Reactor.
I use this to summon Chrono Trigger, because that's the one game I can play while wasted.
But yeah, the suit in Ant-Man doesn't make any sense, because they were like, oh, it like shortens the length like between atoms, like it makes the atoms like closer together.
Are you saying that Disney and Marvel are selling us lies?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
But it didn't make sense because if you go subatomic,
Yeah.
then you can't make the atoms smaller by reducing the size between each atom. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
I look at pin particles and I'm like, they're magic. They're not magic, but they are like they work in a way that is beyond our universe's physics. That's how their universe works.
You know what? Just quantum physics in general are just magic.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any real sense, but it happens.
Have you seen quantum lock stuff?
Quantum lock stuff?
Yeah.
I've heard of it. I don't know much about it.
So you got to get things really, really cold for it to work.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah,
it's basically kind of like almost like magnetic trains, sort of, but better. And like the objects just move in like midair. And it's nuts. Like they just kind of like it's like levitation. Yeah. It's just crazy, but you have to keep it cold. So like, I was thinking about building trains with that, but it would have to be like in Siberia or something.
Yeah, because I remember someone was watching that video and they're like, "Oh man, we could get the hoverboards for Back to the Future finally," and I'm like, "No, you need dry ice for that to work. You need it to be like really cold," and they just did not understand the concept of that.
That's another weird thing. I was watching a documentary on cold, and like the closer you get to absolute zero, that also affects how physics work as well.
Yeah, physics are just weird. Nobody fully understands them, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe Ninja Brian. That's about it.
He's a ninja. He stealthily finds his way through physics.
So so that was the thing I was talking about was what was it? Okay, so like dark matter's always irritated me because it seems like you're looking for ghosts. It seems like it's a ghost detection machine. Like you're looking for something that you can't see, you can't like detect, and you can't really touch it, and you can't really like it's like they did all the math. They were like, the universe should work this way, but it's not working this way. There's obviously stuff that isn't like they did the math, and they obviously didn't come out right. So they're like, okay, what's our solution? Well, there's this stuff that's basically ghost matter, and we're gonna build a ghost detection machine to go find it. And it's always irritated me. I'm not saying dark matter doesn't exist. I'm just saying I don't believe in it until they find it. Until they find it, I'm not believing in it. And so the alternative idea is that maybe because physics works differently on a micro level, that it would work differently on a macro level. And for some reason, that's easier for me to accept. And maybe I'm just and that's just my gut intuition, which is not very scientific. I will admit that. That's just my subjective reality. But I have an easier time swallowing that than ghost matter. That's all.
Yeah, because it's one of those things where people believe it just because a bunch of scientists say so, but they're not. Okay, it's really ironic.
Yeah.
Most scientists do not follow the scientific method.
Yeah.
In terms of like theories, they just kind of come up with theories, and they're like, "Well, I kind of have this one idea."
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, brilliant, we'll write a whole book about it. And it's like, but you need more evidence.
Well, I'm okay with them doing that, but I just wish they would be more straightforward. That like they're just like we're not 100% sure on this. I wish they'd be like, yeah, we're 99% sure. Like, but a lot of times they talk about it with like such conviction, like,
oh yeah,
and I'm just like, look, I'm not a scientist, all right? I get that, so I'm not in that world.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like you should be a little bit more straightforward with the uncertainty of things and just be like, this looks like a good idea, we're pretty sure this is it, but instead of trying to like bark at it as if it's fact, because back in the day there used to be all these like chemicals that a lot of scientists thought existed because they didn't know how to explain things, so they made up these combustion chemicals and these ghost chemicals and like these things that they thought were real, and then like eventually, chemists came along and they were like, no, that's just a bunch of bumpkiss. Your ideas were wrong, and this is how it really works. And I just feel like dark matter might be that. I could be wrong, but at least I have the guts to say I could be wrong.
Yeah, the thing I don't like about it is they're not transparent about it. Like the whole radiocarbon dating thing. Yeah. They're still using that, but they know it's not accurate. Yeah. It's so frustrating. They're like, oh yeah, there was a bunch of scientists who were like, we found a nuclear reactor that's over 1 million years old. It must have been built by like aliens or something. And I'm like, guys, what did you use to determine that it was 1 million years old? Yeah. And they're like, oh, radiocarbon dating. And I'm like, but you admitted that wasn't accurate. What are you doing? Yeah. It's just really dumb.
And I don't mind people going out on a limb and on their intuition and trying to prove something. That's fine. Yeah. But just at least just be real and just be like, yeah, we're not 100% sure, but we're going to explore this idea. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that too.
But sometimes they just have this such strong conviction where it's like as if, it's somehow if they keep yelling it loud enough, like it's gonna be true.
Yeah, scientists are kind of silly. They make mistakes all the time, and people don't like to admit it. Like like Neil deGrasse Tyson. Like he's a smart guy, and he said some smart things, but he's also said some really dumb things before.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't want to admit it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
He's a human being. He's going to make mistakes. We all make mistakes. That's, but yeah.
Yeah, because he's just a person.
Right.
And occasionally he says something really dumb, and he doesn't notice that he said something dumb until he goes back and watches some kind of interview or video or whatever, and he's like, oops.
Yeah. Well, that's what I like about him, though. He will be like, he'll be like, oh, and he'll laugh about it.
Yeah.
But like some guys get all uppity. You prove them wrong, you're their enemy for life.
Oh, yeah.
It's like...
Which is actually the plot of this one anime. I don't want to spoil it, though.
Okay.
But it's basically at some point you find out that someone was murdered or whatever, and it's because this one scientist disproved this other scientist, and they were like, how dare you show me up again?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was actually part of the reason why hospitals were unclean for a long time. Like, people would be working in the morgue and doing autopsies and that kind of stuff, and then helping delivering babies.
Oh, yeah.
And because some dude's ego was so huge, like, he didn't want to accept this other guy's idea, and it set back health like 60 years because he was a jerk to another dude. It's so irritating. It's like, come on, guys. The final trial.
The final trial.
All right, I guess we should do that.
Thanks for watching the most scientific episode of Neon Cheetahs.
We're super 100% objective and never wrong.
I was Brent.
But now he's Carl. And I'm Trevor.
He was Trevor.
And now I'm Carl.
We're both Carl. Hey, wait, don't press the button yet.